Jannik, welcome back to Melbourne.
Thanks.
You started the year in Auckland. How's your preparation been since then?
Yeah, really enjoying being here in Melbourne. As you know, it's one of my favourite places. I really like it here. I feel like Auckland was a good test for me. It was, it's always great to start winning a match and then playing a good match against Alina. I feel like my level is kind of there and thereabouts. It's now just about getting a few more matches and getting comfortable, and I feel like I'm kind of gaining that on a daily basis. But it's a long year ahead, so no rush.
Thank you. Questions? Helen?
I haven't seen you since your coaching change, I think, so tell us about that and your new setup.
I started working with Michael Joyce at the end of last year. Personally, always really liked him. I thought he's done a really good job with a lot of other players. Jessie, Ashlyn, I feel like he's been around a long time on tour. He's someone that I didn't really get to know that much until I spent time with him on court, and I really like his style. I feel like it's going well at the moment. So, I think we're all quite calm, which is, it really helps because I got that energy around me, which is important for me as a tennis player. So, I think everything's going well, and just really looking to build on what we've started.
What was the process like of finding a new coach over the past few months?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, with a lot of help from Dino as well, and a few people kind of giving me ideas. I actually, funnily enough, I noticed that he stopped with Ashlyn or what have you at the end of last year. I noticed that, and I actually thought to myself that he would maybe be a really good match for me, and it just so happened that he was keen when we happened to ask. So actually reasonably quite easy, actually. I mean, it's not been too hard. I haven't trialed loads of coaches. I just felt very comfortable instantly. So I think that's a really good sign early on.
But to follow up on that, what did you think would make you a good match with him?
Yeah, it's a great question because I've obviously not had many coaches in my career. I think I've had, obviously quite a few when I was younger, but in my immediate pro career, it's really been two. It's been Jeremy and it's been Biliana, and I think they've both come through the LTA, and I've always been around them. But I think Michael worked with Johanna Konta quite a few years ago, and I actually think that's the first time I may have met him when I practiced with Joe, and I thought he was a really good guy, and it's an interesting one because going out and finding a coach yourself isn't a process that I'm used to. It's just, it feels like because you don't know anyone, you sort of see them on a daily basis, but you don't know what they're like as a coach, and you kind of just have to trust your instincts and gut feeling on it, and I think that kind of matched up pretty well.
Katie, obviously you were on the cusp of the main draw and then got in kind of right before qualifying. I just wonder what was that like, and when did you actually find out you were in?
I mean, the Saturday and Sunday were pretty stressful, to be completely honest. Look, I'm not precious about playing qualies. I have no problem at all going out there and competing. If that's where I'm at, that's not an issue. So I kind of had my kind of head set on playing qualies more than anything, and I was prepared to play. But obviously when you're one out, you start thinking, right? And you kind of, you start hearing things on tour about who may or may not be coming, and it's a very difficult situation to be in at that point. But I just did my best to kind of focus on what I was doing, trying not to think too much about whether I was going to get in or out, and just preparing for the Monday. And I think I did a pretty good job of that, but don't get me wrong, it's been pretty stressful.
So when did you actually find out you were in?
I found out literally after the draw came out, around 5 o'clock. Dino texted me saying that someone pulled out. But yeah, we had obviously seen that maybe there were a few rumours of it in the press, which has probably made it a little harder for me because naturally everyone was like, oh, you're in, and I wasn't. So I think that was a pretty tough day in terms of just trying to keep straight and not think too much. But yeah, I mean, it worked out eventually.
5 p.m. Sunday?
Yeah.
At what point towards the end of last year do you start thinking about, am I going to be in the main draw, am I going to be within the cut? And in November, I believe you were also having to weigh up whether you might play another tournament to give yourself a chance of pushing up a little.
Yeah, I mean, this is somewhere where I really think that I think the WTA can maybe help out a little bit more on. I think I noticed that the ATP have a final cut for the first time, was it this year, on a certain date. And I feel like the WTA should maybe follow that because, you know, I'm kind of there middle of my preseason wondering whether I should be going to play because other people are playing. I think that's quite unsettling, and it also doesn't really give a chance for the players to get a proper preseason in. And honestly, it can just result in more injuries. You know, if you keep chasing and you keep chasing and you're just trying to search for a main draw, it is hard. It's a position I don't really want to be in. You know, I ultimately, if that's where I was at, I'm okay with it because I didn't really have any other choice. Obviously, getting an injury at the end of last year didn't help me in that aspect because I felt like even during Tokyo, having qualified, I played great, but unfortunately, that's when the injury came at the end of qualies. So, yeah, it is a rule I would like to see change because personally, I don't think any player should be in the position that they're in the middle of a preseason trying to go to another tournament. So yeah, it wasn't easy, no.
So you get in the draw and then you get Bencic. Not easy.
No easy matches here. Definitely no easy matches. Look, I mean, she's clearly coming in with a lot of form. She's won a lot of matches already. She played great end of last year. What she's doing is so inspiring as well, having come back from having a child, and the level that she's playing at is, you know, one of the best in the world, clearly. And at the end of the day, I think for me, it's another opportunity. I'm just going to go out and swing. You know, I really don't think there's any pressure. I mean, don't think there's anyone in this room that thinks I'm going to win that match. So, again, I'm excited for it. I'm super happy to get a tough draw as well because I think I can kind of show what I can do on the day, and if not, we go back to work. You know, as I said, it's a long year already. It's obviously the start of year. I want to start well, but I'm very well aware that, you know, there's a lot of tournaments to be playing, and I'm only just starting. You know, I see this as like a full reset for me last year. I see it as I'm starting again, and I think I want to really build on that this year. I'm not expecting miracles this week. I'm not expecting miracles next week. It's going to be a process. Having a new coach is, you know, you're kind of sorting out what you're doing on a daily basis is also different. So, yeah, I think for me, I'm excited at the prospect of having a go at a top player.
We believe in you, Paige.
Thanks. That's very kind of you.
I liked your Instagram post, like at the start of the year, like don't let the door hit you on the way out for 2025.
That was nice.
I'm just curious, like how easy was it to just kind of like accept and let go of, you know, the fact that the results didn't always go your way. You obviously had injury as well, and just kind of turn the page on last year.
Yeah, I mean, seeing January 1st, 2026 was a good start. I mean, it felt good to kind of enter a new year. And I mean, I've said this already like 100 times this year. I'm like, I'm getting married this year. It's going to be an unbelievable year, one of the best ones in my life, no matter what happens on the tennis court. So I think for me, that's already given me a positive push. Yeah, I feel like having a new coach, having a new setup, everything is kind of fresh and exciting again. Whereas I feel like I was dragging my feet a little bit at the end of last year, just trying to get through, you know, the whole entire year without injuries and, yeah, just trying to get to the start of the new year. And I feel like I was very excited when we hit that point and it was a new year, and I really feel like we put in a good preseason, and obviously making the choice not to play that tournament ended up being good because I got in. But, you know, yeah, I feel like I put some good work in, so that was the main thing.
So happy to win in there, yeah, how the plans go in, and how would you anticipate the kind of balance between, you know, planning that and the organisation of that and your career?
Honestly, we've done absolutely nothing in about a year and 2 months, like absolutely nothing. We've got a date, we've got a venue, and then the rest will hopefully take care of itself. I wouldn't say we're the most organised of couples. I would say we're kind of going with the flow, hoping everything works itself out, and we'll turn up and say I do, hopefully, and that's it.
Your wedding planner or someone?
Yeah.
No, yeah, we have. Someone's helping us, thank goodness, yeah, because we really don't have any time to kind of sort things and make decisions, and yeah, it's a little bit much. But of course, I want to be someone who is in that process as well, because I do think it's something that, you know, will only happen once in my life, and yeah, it's an exciting time as well. So I want to be a part of it, and I want to put my own stamp on it at the same time. But yeah, it's going to be a great year.
Would it not be as good if you planned it yourself? Would it?
If I planned it?
Yeah.
Oh no, I think it would be great. I would love to plan it. I don't have any time. Like, I really don't. I think even just getting a decision out of us is pretty tough to do. I mean, as Dino knows, I get, like, he doesn't barely get a text back from me because I'm awful at, like, trying to sort things out. So yeah, planning a wedding is tough. It's not that easy to sort things out, but I know it's going to be perfect no matter what happens on the day. If something goes wrong, it's fine.